Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is a paid request for Efree. Thank you so much, my friend. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. I also have a CashApp. People have asked me about those. And for those interested in requesting, like I said, any type of topic, reaction, tier list, ranking, review, re-review, video game playthrough, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Thank you. Now, I wasn't sure how to do this because he wanted me to review episodes 3, 4, 5, and 6. I guess I'll make it 2 videos. Now, to be fair, on this one, I'll probably review episode 2, 3, and 4 because I screwed up. Because I thought I was watching episode 3. Then I realized I was watching episode 2. I'm like, well, screw it. I'll watch the rest of it. Then I'll watch 3 and then 4 and 5. So there you go. But The Crow Stairway to Heaven. A show that I'd heard of, but did not see growing up. I didn't have the channel when it was on from 1998 to 1999. Or maybe I did, but I just never really saw it advertised. It only lasted 1 year. 22 episodes. So it was probably one of those things that maybe we did have the channel it was on, but just never really saw it advertised. Now, I do like the first Crow film. I'm not really a fan of any of the sequels afterward. I will say, watching these episodes, this is the closest to getting a decent Crow continuation. I would say of the episodes, I enjoy them for the most part, of what I've seen so far. Because I did see the pilot, that was a request. And the pilot was okay, but it's just replicating the first film, but not as good because they don't have the production value, they don't have the gritty atmosphere, the balls out action and violence. And the thing with this Crow, he doesn't really kill anybody. That's not really his thing to do. Which I will admit kind of threw me for a loop because I just, the Crow, I just expect him to kill someone, but it's not really the case here. What really made me not mind the show so far is Mark Dacascos. Mark Dacascos. Dacascos, however you want to say it. I really like Mark. I really do. I liked him ever since I first saw him in, I think it was Drive. Drive was the first film I saw of his. I saw that it might have been on cable. And I think then I had the VHS tape. And I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I got a Blu-ray. Richly deserved. Got it right there. Actually, I'll show it right now. Why not? Love this movie. Great film. Drive. Underrated film. Awesome movie. But yeah, ever since I saw this, I was a big fan of the guy. And even though not all of his films are great, I just still watch them. Like Sabotage he did, which I think they got a Blu-ray from MVD. I'd be curious to check that out sometime. Because I remember not minding the film. I'd be curious to check out the features. I'm Omega. That's the only Asylum film I could watch that's worth a crap because Mark just the kid zombie ass and give a pretty decent performance. Crying Freeman, I did enjoy that film. Double Dragon I'm not a fan of, but that's not Mark's fault. Either way, like he's done a lot of stuff and either I love the film or the film's not good, but he's usually not the problem with them. So I'm a big fan. Loved him in John Wick 3. He was a great, pleasant surprise in John Wick 3. Surprise as in, wow, they cast him in it, and someone remembered him, and he did a great job, in my opinion. So he stars as Eric Draven. Like I said, the first episode, they kind of do a remake of the first film, just not nearly as good. But it was nice to see Mark in there. So after the pilot, he's gotten revenge for the people that killed his woman and him, but top dollar, he's pretty much, I think he's in an asylum. I think he comes back in a later episode. And now he's pretty much stuck on Earth to walk the Earth and right the wrongs. And I don't know how that works with the troll power, but it's just like, we need a TV show, so just shut up. Shut up, that's just how it's working nowadays. And I guess I'll go into episode 2, 3, and 4. Now, I know he didn't ask for episode 2, but I'll just do it anyway. So episode 2 was sold out with Mark Rolston, Drake from Aliens, poster behind me. Drake, we are leaving. He's a businessman in a wheelchair who loves his yellow snake and not the one in his pants. Pretty much Mark is looking into, kind of the higher ups of what caused the death of him and his girlfriend. We heard in the pilot that apparently his girlfriend died because of him. It was a look into what the hell that's all about. And throughout the show, it does this thing kind of like Highlander, the TV show, where from time to time it'll show flashbacks. Well, Highlander show flashbacks to different time periods, of course. Here it shows bits of flashbacks of the love between Mark and his girlfriend. Kind of keep that relationship strong throughout the show. So I can understand that. I think Mark in the flashbacks like, well, do I have a soul worth stealing? Now, throughout the show, there's this cop named Mark Gomes. Mark Gomez. I did not mind him. Yes, he's no Ernie Hudson from The Crow, but I liked him. I thought the back and forth he has with Mark is actually one of the better relationships throughout the show. Like, better back and forth banter. And I thought, Mark, another Mark, different Mark. The two Marks worked well together, I'll put it that way. Now, one thing I noticed with the show is that, I guess because of the production schedule, because they have a lot less time, a lot less money, so a lot of stuff has to be shot during the daytime. There's not a lot of times the show's at night. And when I think of The Crow, I think of nighttime, atmosphere, mood, and it doesn't really have any of that. Because a lot of it has to be shot in the day. So I do miss the gritty atmosphere. The gothic feel to it is definitely missing. But I will say Mark Dacascos, he's the MVP of the show. Even if episode's not 100% for me, he comes in and it's kind of this thing with his troll where, kind of like the Incredible Hulk, where he'll Hulk out in a way and turn into with the makeup and stuff, and then not only is he much more powerful, but his personality changes a bit, where he's much more playful, much more like the Joker, much more one-liners and wisecrack and sarcastic, and I didn't mind that watching this, like throughout these episodes. I didn't mind that because you can really see Mark having fun with those moments, having fun with that stuff. Nothing like a little death to bring a little life into it. I'll put 2 bullets in you, so go for 3. Hey, read the warning label. These things will kill you. And that's for me, like, throughout the episodes, like, that was fun to see. And to see that Mark has more range than people give him credit for. And it's sad that if I looked at his filmography, He's a great martial artist. Only the Strong, that's a good one. Almost forgot about that. Drive is my favorite, among others, but especially lately, other than John Wick 3, he's not really used to his best asset, which is sad, but it is what it is. So episode 2, the deal is that at one point, this era Draven hears a song he was playing the night he died. Somehow this band is playing it in a club, and he's like, how do you know that song? Or apparently an executive, like someone higher up, told him that song. So he goes to get to the bottom of things, and goes this music executive played by Mark Rolston. Which is weird that, and this kind of confused me, there's a bit where he goes to see Mark Rolston, and one guy just like grabs Mark Dacascos and has his arms behind his back, and then they drag him out, and then they shoot him, and I'm sitting there going, you let this motherfucker drag you out and shoot you? Like, why didn't you do your Hulk out Crow thing and beat the hell out of them? There's even times in the show that he's not in the Crow makeup and he beats the hell out of people. So he didn't even try to fight back, so I thought that was very weird. I don't know why he didn't do that. Again, there were times he's not in makeup and he kicks some ass. There's times he didn't even try at all, so I don't understand that. And then you find out that Mark Rolston is a Crow as well. And I'm like, how does that work? I thought the whole point of the Crow is to put the wrong things right. So how the hell did Mark Rolston become a Crow? I don't know if they tried to explain it. I didn't understand it still. The other part of the plot is Mark Rolston, his wife or whatever, is in trouble. Mark Dacascos helps her, puts her in a safe place, but they find her and they take her, and then he goes in to rescue her, fights Mark Rolston, which there's not a lot of action in this episode. Maybe that's why he wanted me to skip this. I have a feeling like maybe this is why this was not part of the request. He's like, yeah, you can skip that. So, if so, I get why he did that. Because it's not really much of a fight. Mark Rolston, now that it's like 3 Marks. Mark Dacascos, Mark Rolston, and Mark Gomez. All the Marks. Y'all Marks. Dacascos gets his ass kicked by Mark Rolston, which is hard for me to believe. And then the girl kills the snake, and then Mark... I don't like that Dacascos had to be saved by this lady and couldn't get this... And then really doesn't do much, just kind of a kick and then a stab. Like, it's a very lame final fight. So I would say that episode I didn't like. And at the end of the day, and that's probably why Efree, he skipped that one. So maybe I spent 13 minutes. Let's move on from that. Episode 3, Get a Life, I definitely thought was a bit better. Definitely thought it was a bit better. This one, the setup is there's this foundation called the Franklin Foundation. During it, a woman is shot and killed. Her boyfriend is arrested. The woman who died, she's in the purgatory where Eric Draven's woman Shelly is at. Shelly's going to wait there for as long as she can for Eric to come to her whenever that time comes. But she also is going to help this lady and tries to get to Mark Dacascos' character to tell him what's going on. I don't mind the little girl that plays Sarah. I thought she had a nice attitude to her and she wasn't irritating. I did like the bit where Mark Dacascos has to lie to the rent guy. Because the rent guy goes, "Who are you? You kind of look like that guy. Wait a minute, I thought you were dead." And Mark Dacascos tells the lie of, "Oh yeah, that was a setup." What? Yeah, that was a setup. That was a sting operation. That was a sting operation. So I kind of like that. That even though he's dead, he still got to pay the rent. I think it's even the cop that says you got to pay the rent and play by the rules. Well, they're not my rules. But hey, even if you're dead, you got to pay the rent. So, even in death, you can't get away from the rent. There's not a whole lot of action in this, but I thought the story just went at a better pace. The story is a little bit more interesting than just, for some reason, there's the evil crow, like right from episode 2. I mean, what? That seems to be pretty quick to pull out the evil crow card, but that's just me. He stands in front of a police van and gets hit on purpose so he could pretend to be dead and take out these 2 guards. Because he wants to get the guy out who's accused of this crime, because by hearing Shelley and all this stuff, knows this guy's innocent. Takes the guy to his crime scene, tries to find out like who is the person that really killed his woman. Feel the crime scene, able to see a vision of it, find out who it is. And it has something to do with the girl's dad. The girl's dad is a piece of shit. Had one of his men kill her. Something about how back in the day he burnt his place down but blamed it on his daughter. His daughter was remembering, so they killed her. Now, when the action scenes do happen, the positive is Mark Dacascos is great. Mark Dacascos is a wonderful attribute of physicality. He really knows how to kick ass and take names. He does a great job with that. Whether it be the kicks, the punches, jump kicks. He'll do this thing where he kind of jumps and then drop kicks someone. So he jumps and kicks with both feet on someone's chest and then lands back down. Like here, he's like, better hurry up, Mr. Bodyguard. How about 3 points? And kicks the guy. So again, I like when Mark's having fun with that character. But again, I was a bit... I guess because it's a TV show, but he doesn't really kill anybody throughout this show. Even this guy who deserves it, he's close to it. He's like, you lie, you die. Don't throw this guy's fat ass over the building. But doesn't. The cop is there. Even the guy whose wife was killed, or girlfriend was killed, was like, nah, don't do it. So he doesn't. I guess if he was going around killing people, the cop would not really be friends with him. Be like, hey, what the deal? What's the dealio? Come on now. So I can see why they did that. I can see why. Because, again, what kind of cop would he be to let this guy just go around killing everybody? And so they wanted to go in a different direction. So I get that. But it's just one of those things where I think of the Crow as one way, and it'd be like a Punisher TV show where the Punisher doesn't kill anybody. He just beats them up or wounds them and gets them arrested. He'd be like, I mean, okay, but it took me a bit to get used to. I'll put it that way. But it makes the guy confess. He goes to jail, and so that one I didn't mind the story. I didn't mind. Mark Dacascos was fun. The guy who plays the boyfriend, like the husband, his character came off as a dick. At least the way he treated Mark's character. I guess I can't blame him for his predicament and what happened, but there are times like, man, this guy's a dick. I do wish there was more action. I do wish when the action scenes happen, like, Mark is good, but it seems like whoever's directing this, they don't really know how to use Mark the best way. Because there are times like he does a kick, but instead of seeing the full kick in Y's camera, he does a kick, but then immediately goes to the foot doing this or the fist doing this. Like, it immediately goes to a close-up. Immediately goes to a close-up. Immediately goes to a close-up. I'm like, no, they can do this. Like, let us see the whole thing. I think the way, like, martial law, Sammo Hung, that first season especially. I kind of wish this show was made like that show in terms of the fight scenes. I think that really would have amped up things. But, you know, at least Mark's very talented martial artist. It's just, I don't always feel like the directors really did him the best of service in some of these fights. But yeah, I didn't mind that one. And episode 4, because I'll talk about 5 and 6 in the next video. This is already 20 minutes. It's called Like This 1999. This was, I would say, like, as I watched these, it kind of felt like they got a bit better and better. I would say probably of these episodes, episode 4 and episode 6 were my favorites so far. 5 I didn't mind, but 4 and 6 were my favorites so far. Because I like this 1999 episode 4. That's the one where there's an old couple, this group of people take them, tie them up, put them in another like garage or something, just so these people can invite their friends and wreck the place, because they're anarchists. They're anarchists. They just like to destroy. They like to wreck things. They ruin a painting. They wreck the place. They're breaking stuff, tear them up. Interesting that the music playing is Rob Zombie's Dragula. Dragula. Now, the reason our characters get into the story is because the little girl Sarah is friends with one of these people that's a new recruit. And she decides to go undercover to try to watch his back and also try to figure out what's going on. And then, of course, Mark Dacascos finds this out and goes after the little girl. I think Katie Stewart as Sarah, I did not mind her. I thought she had, like I said, good attitude, good head on her shoulders. She didn't become irritating or annoying. She didn't overdo it with the attitude to be bitchy. I thought she had the right balance. The few little bits of fights were alright. I do like that they try to do a bit of continuity. Like the girl he saved in episode 2, who's the girlfriend wife of Mark Wolfson. She actually comes back in this because she gives this, or at least episode 3 and 4, like she comes back because he needs a job, so he gets a job being kind of a bouncer at the club she owns. So I do like that the series has a bit of continuity with things. I appreciate that. And while he's at the club, he disarms one guy, he hits another, kind of sees that they may be connected to these break-ins happening, tells the top guy, Mark Gomes' character. And I do like the way that the crow is utilized, or whatever bird, because I know you can't really train a crow, so they'll use other birds to try to look like a crow. But I did like the shot where Mark is on the motorcycle and he's riding with the crow. I thought that was kind of a cool looking shot. Like I say, Katie Stewart, I liked her attitude. You know, telling the guy, wake up and smell the decaf. Pretty much one thing leads to another. Mark finds out where everybody's at. They're wrecking another place. Mark gets into a little fight here and there. Like I said, I do like his attitude. Hey, at the beep, come this. And beats out this guy. The bad guy left the bomb. Mark gets the bomb, goes after him. The guy goes, you're crazy. No, I'm not. I'm already dead. Confronts the guy after making the car stop. Beats him. Granted, like 5 hits, so it's not much of a fight. But I guess this depends what you're looking for in this type of TV show. like I said, I do wish the fights were a little bit more choreographed, a little bit more showcasing Mark's abilities, and maybe hire guys that, and maybe this guy did know a bit more. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember who the actor was, but maybe get people that really, really know the martial arts, and just have a director that's like, okay, let's showcase what these guys can do. I mean, don't hide what they can do. Accentuate it. But he beats the guy in 5 hits, brings the guy back, tells all the people, yeah, this is the guy you want to go after, huh? This is the guy you want to think is your leader? He tried to leave your sorry ass to take the ticket to Nick and Tahiti, wherever the hell he was going. And they get pissed about that, so you tell they're ready to beat the shit out of him. So I like the idea of the anarchist plot. This is not something you get to see every day on a TV show like this. I mean, even from the beginning, like, okay, they're not trying to hurt the couple. They're not really stealing stuff. They just want to wreck shit. So, again, it's not every day you see anarchists as the villains of your story. So I thought that was a bit interesting. Like I said, the little girl, I thought she held her own. You get a little bit of motorcycle play with the crow riding it, which is not something you get to see not much often. So that was nice to see. So overall, I didn't mind the episode. I thought it was decent for what it needed to be. Didn't mind the guy who was the new recruit. I thought he did an okay job. Like I said, I mean, not gonna lie, I wish we could see a bit more fights. Cool to hear Rob Zombie's Dragula. I don't mind that song. I am surprised we don't hear more of the soundtrack from the original Crow, but maybe they can't afford those songs. But I mean, if they do afford Rob Zombie's Dragula, I guess they could. But maybe at this point they want to kind of be their own thing, which I can understand, and not rely on the original film so much. I can understand that, to be on its own 2 feet. Like I said, Mark Dacascos definitely MVP on this stuff. So while I wouldn't say I loved it so far, I like it for what it is. Like I said, I do think it would have been nice to have directors that could handle the action scenes a bit better. But yeah, overall, I don't hate it so far. I liked it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys next time while I finishes talking about the next 2 episodes that he requested, episodes 5 and 6. So thank you, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.